Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about how to become an actor, whether you're dreaming of TV and film, Broadway, or just want to explore acting as a creative outlet. I've been teaching acting and writing in Hollywood for over 3 decades now, and I'm going to share the realistic steps to help you start your acting journey. And if you're further along in your acting career, there just might be some tips here for you as well. I teach and coach actors at all levels. No false promises or overnight success stories, just practical advice that actually works. I'm building this channel to be a comprehensive library of advice and direction for actors at all levels. So if you find the information valuable, please take a moment to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'll be adding videos weekly, and I want to start a global conversation with actors, writers, and artists from around the world. While all the steps in this overview are essential, I'm saving my favorite tip until the end. Yes, because I want you to watch the whole thing. I only tell the truth here, but also because I don't want to overwhelm you right out the gate. That said, by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to launch your acting career. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about commitment. That's a big word. Acting isn't just a job. It's a lifestyle that requires dedication, resilience, and passion. There's an odd balance we have to strike that means thinking of ourselves as a product in a marketplace and learning how to not take what happens to us personally. Obviously, we have to train our creative abilities, but we also need to learn practical career skills as well. Becoming a working actor means learning how to think of yourself as a business, like an independent contractor. Getting cast or booked into a role isn't much different than if you wanted to hire, say, a wedding photographer or an interior designer or a construction contractor to build a deck onto your house. You start with many options, you narrow them down to a short list, you interview a few, and you choose the one that feels like the best match for your project and the vibe that that person brings with it. That's what casting is doing when they select actors to audition for them. We make ourselves vulnerable when we audition. So everything that happens in our journey can feel very personal, but it's not. It's professional. So let's set the table for this conversation by acknowledging that the best actor training includes insights into building business acumen as well as learning the craft. Here are some questions for you to consider. Do I want to learn to act professionally? Am I prepared to continuously train and improve if the answer to the first question is yes? Am I comfortable being open and vulnerable in front of others? Or am I willing to grow in that area? Do I want to become what amounts to a small business owner, the business being me, which I'm going to have to market and sell? Am I curious about how to learn the language of Hollywood? The truth is, acting careers often take years to build. The overnight success stories you hear typically involve people who've been grinding for 5 to 10 years before their big break. But there are no rules in show business. Guidelines, yes. A shared standard of intent, definitely. A community of people who work together to bring projects to life, absolutely. Anything can happen for anyone at any time. I've seen it happen. And random breaks have appeared for me without any warning at all. So we want to be prepared when fate brings an opportunity our way. We want to be prepared mentally, emotionally, and structurally when your career finds momentum. If you're still excited about acting after considering these challenges, that's a great sign. Passion is your fuel during the tough times. It's easy to say becoming an actor is hard. It is, but so is building any business up from the ground floor. So you might as well spend your time moving toward what you love. Now, let's talk training. Regardless of your talent, and we all have some, training is essential. In a future video, I'm going to break down the different kinds of actor training that's out there in great detail. I know from experience that actors of all levels are often confused about the best kinds of classes to take, what looks best on their resume, and which teachers and institutions are most credible, etc. But since this is an overview, For now, let's just say training is mandatory. There are several different options and a spectrum. There are high-end formal education options like drama schools and conservatories, Juilliard, RADA, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in the UK, NIDA, the National Institute of Dramatic Art in Australia, or similar institutions in your country. There are university theater programs with four-year degrees, community college programs, more affordable options with quality instruction. In LA, I often recommend new actors look into classes at Los Angeles Community College and Los Angeles Valley College. And then there's non-degree training that you would get at your local acting studio, community theater workshops, which are great for beginners and networking, and online courses that provide flexible options to learn the fundamentals and more. And of course, there's always me. I specialize in comedy training for the camera, but I coach and teach all genres. And the core tenets I adhere to are the universal principles of great acting that are taught everywhere, universally. The best path is the path that makes sense for you personally. Depends on your goals, your budget, your experience level, and other factors. Remember that many successful actors never attended a prestigious drama school. The most important thing is consistent quality training, however and wherever you can get it. And mentorship. There's another video that's coming your way, but for now I'll simply stress the significance of knowledgeable mentorship. I can't overestimate how valuable it is to have a mentor to help guide you in your journey throughout show business. For beginners, I suggest starting with a basic acting class to see if you enjoy the process before making any larger investments. For more advanced actors, it's all about the audition technique class. You've got to make sure that your abilities as an actor translate fully in the audition process, whether it's in person or self-taped. Self-taped, period, full stop. A great audition technique teacher is worth their weight in gold. I'm an audition technique teacher. Once you've started training, you need to build your professional toolkit. First, headshots. Let's start there. Professional photos that accurately represent how you look. An authentic representation of you is most important. An up-leveled headshot also leans into the actor's castability or type. I use the phrase wheelhouse a lot when discussing headshots. I have tons to say on the do's and don'ts for pro headshots, but again, I'll create another video to do a deep dive on that topic. For now, I'll just say a truly great headshot represents who you are as a person and also helps casting directors see what roles fit best for you. Ultimately, you'll want a gallery or a collection of photos that display your range and cover the needs for both commercial and theatrical castings. Ideally, you'll get them taken by a photographer who specializes in actor headshots. Pro tip, the more information you give your photographer going into the session, the better. Too many actors leave most or all of the decisions up to the photographer. The best case scenario is that you've done research on your brand or your type, you know what kinds of characters you'll play, and you've made clothing and wardrobe changes accordingly. An experienced headshot photographer is, by definition, a good collaborator. And you want their advice because they have knowledge and expertise. That said, you should have specific goals in mind going into your session. These goals should include not only your type, but decisions about what backgrounds you want, why you want them, and how you want people to feel when they see your picture. You should have a game plan. Headshot photographers will have a website. Most actors look at the faces in the pictures that are displayed. Of course, you want to see how the actors look, how they're coming across. But the photographer is also showing you what backgrounds they have available. Do they shoot indoors with studio lighting, outdoors with natural lighting, a combination? Are their backgrounds a solid color, or do they offer blurred, distorted backgrounds? Have some ideas about what they're offering in that capacity before you go in. It'll make your shoot much more efficient. Next, your resume. Initially, it might be sparse. That is okay. You don't have to exaggerate or worry about bulking it up. In fact, you shouldn't include anything false. Any network or studio credits will be listed and cross-referenced on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, so we can't make stuff up like back in the day. Had all kinds of fluff on mine. The industry standard is that what's listed on IMDb will be your default resume, so to speak. If anyone is interested in working with you, they will be looking you up there. Likewise, you can produce your own content and get it listed on IMDb. That's also another video. Anyway, creating your own content and getting it listed on IMDb is a great way of showing that you're invested and serious about a career in acting, even if you're just getting started or haven't managed to book other credits yet. And we all have to start somewhere. Don't play mind games with yourself and be kind. It doesn't help you to feel lacking in any way because you wished you had more credits. You have what you have. And if it's not a lot, you can always say, I'm in class, I'm in training, I have an audition coach if something big comes up. If you're young, agents and managers and casting directors don't expect you to have many credits. So it's nothing to be self-conscious about. If you're older and starting your journey as an actor later in life, make that part of your story and your selling points and highlight your life experience and other skills that you might possess. I've known nurses, firemen, attorneys, and folks from so many other vocations who became working actors by transitioning from another career. They not only used their prior work as an asset to become an actor, they brought a confidence with them that experience in the workforce gave them. So if you're watching this and thinking, I don't know if I'm ready to give up my day job, well, that's your decision to make. I just know I've seen it work. And in 30 years of doing this, I've never heard anyone say, I really wish I had my day job back. So include your training, any performances, even school plays, and special skills. That, by the way, is an area to show your personality. Most people think of obvious skills like accents and dialects, playing a musical instrument, singing, dancing, etc. But it helps to know if you have combat training, stunt training. Do you speak additional language? Even things like juggling, skateboarding, being able to drive a manual transmission, a stick shift. I once got booked on a job because I noted that I'm a really good whistler. I also have goat impression listed in my special skills. And now that I've said that, I know someone's going to ask to hear it in the comments, so I'll just throw it in. Here we go. Ready? You're welcome. You'll also need a demo reel or a 1 to 2 minute video showcasing your best work. You can have just one, you can have a separate comedy and drama reel, you can have a commercial reel that's separate from your theatrical reel, your TV and film reel. And if you're just starting, it's absolutely okay to post a reel that's just you working with a reader, like an audition would work. If you do that though, it shouldn't be a whole scene from beginning to end that you post. You should record a whole scene and find the best snippet of about 20 to 30 seconds and maybe do several different scenes so you have a total of 1 to 2 minutes of footage. Your lighting, audio, and background should look professional, and your acting, it should go without saying, should be great. Bring your A game, because if you're going to choose the material and have time to shoot the performance, the expectation of your ability is going to be higher than if you had a co-star role on a TV series, included that in your reel. It's a nice credit to have, but it could be just a line, so it's hard to gauge. So get coached on your reel footage if you need to. And I can help you with that if you need. But that footage represents who you are to the entire acting community. So you really need to put your best foot forward. Finally, consider joining casting websites like Actors Access and casting networks in the US. They're ultimately necessary for all actors to acquire work, whether you're represented yet or not. Backstage offers some opportunities. You just have to be on the lookout for scams, to be honest with you. But some of the postings are legit, especially if you're not in SAG-AFTRA yet. And there's Spotlight in the UK and Showcast in Australia. All of these platforms connect actors with casting options. Now for the exciting part, finding acting opportunities. Let's get you acting. For beginners, you want to seek out options like student films. Film students need actors in order to shoot their projects. You can find some of these opportunities listed on the previous mentioned actor sites, but you can also check out local film schools, should you live near one. Look at their websites to see how they scout actors, and don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call someone for further help. People just don't use the phone anymore. There's also community and local theater, an excellent way to gain experience in networking. Depending on where you live, you could consider background or extra work. The pay is usually decent and it gets you on a professional set. There's a lot to learn just by observing. And as I mentioned earlier, you can create your own content. Smartphones, social media, YouTube, you can easily showcase your talent. As you gain experience, you'll want to find an agent or a manager. They connect you with auditions that you can't access for yourself. Once you have representation, you're on your way to building your team, and hopefully more opportunities start coming your way. When the time is right, you'll want to join the appropriate unions like SAG-AFTRA, Equity, or equivalents in your country wherever you are. And you'll want to audition regularly and as much as you can in the beginning. The experience is free and it's invaluable. Apply to everything appropriate for your type: independent projects, commercials, spec commercials, which are sample commercials, student films, or grab some friends from your acting class and start making stuff for yourself just to grow experience and build confidence. The more you do it, the better you get. Remember, every acting job is an opportunity to learn and connect. Treat small roles with the same professionalism and enthusiasm as big ones. And every time you book work, even if it's for free in the beginning, you're gaining momentum toward your next gig. Again, I'll create in-depth videos on all of these topics as we go. That's why I really hope you like and subscribe to this channel. This video is intended to be an overview, so by definition, I can't go into too much detail on each one of these steps, but ultimately, we will have an archive of videos on each one of these steps, so please spread the word and tell all of your actor friends to check us out. Okay, moving on. Beyond formal training, continuously developing your craft is crucial. What else can you do to build yourself into a booking enterprise? Read plays and screenplays. Living in the digital age has its advantages. Search on the internet for shows that you like and simply add the words pilot, episode, and PDF. Many shows you've seen have a script available somewhere online. Shows like Stranger Things, Abbott Elementary, and The Rookie all have episode scripts available right there online. I'm not putting links to those because they don't always stay active indefinitely. I'd rather teach you how easy it is to find content online that's formatted properly and professionally, and you can search for what interests you. You can also check out your local library and see if they have scripts and screenplays. If you live in Los Angeles, you can check out the Shavelson-Webb Library at the Writers Guild Foundation. The WGF Shavelson-Webb Library is the only library on the planet focused entirely on writing for the screen, and you do not need to be a member of the Writers Guild to go. You don't have to belong to anything. It's open to the general public and is home to more than 45,000 scripts and screenplays. Definitely worth a visit if you're in LA. I will add that link below. I've been there many times, and it just feels so good to walk in and be surrounded by scripts that have been produced. Watch performances critically, not just for entertainment. If you like what you see, emulate it. If you don't, think through what you'd do differently. In addition, you can take specialized workshops adjacent to core acting fundamentals in areas like voice, movement, improv, etc., and increase the resources in your tool belt, so to speak. Understand the business side too. Learn about contracts, residuals, and industry standards. Follow casting directors and producers on social media to understand what they're looking for. Whether or not you're close to joining a union like SAG-AFTRA, look at their website in advance to learn about these things. It helps to know what their requirements for membership are. Too many actors just rely on asking each other for help when all the information's there and available. And too many actors treat joining the union like a problem, an expense to be paid, and a hurdle to overcome. It's actually an honor to join guilds and unions that protect our workers' rights. They're far from perfect, but better than nothing. And they offer classes, workshops, casting opportunities, and industry connectivity that more than pays for itself if you take advantage of what they offer after you join. Read the industry trades. Industry magazines, online or print, provide essential information about a particular field or vocation. Adweek, for example, is a weekly publication that provides news and insights about the advertising and marketing industries. For the entertainment industry, I recommend Deadline Hollywood, The Wrap, The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and even the LA Times. Links to those will be below. Most importantly, live an interesting life. Great actors draw from their experiences, travel, if possible, read, observe people, and stay curious about the world. Now, let's talk about the mental game. Acting careers have extreme highs and lows, periods of great activity and lulls where nothing is going on. So we want to develop resilience. Rejection is a part of the process. Even A-listers face it. There are challenges that go hand in hand with every level of career. And what can really be tough is that rejection does not come in the form of a no with an explanation. You audition and you either get booked or hear nothing. Actors are not owed any feedback. And the way the industry works now, it's becoming less and less likely you'll get any. If you do, great. But there are so many auditions that are submitted through self-taping now. With in-person auditions, you may get an adjustment or a note, or if nothing else, get a read from the casting director in the room about how you did. Maybe a compliment, even a nod of admiration. That's something. But with so many self-tape auditions, you get nothing in terms of feedback. So you need to be able to withstand the not knowing. To that end, it helps to find your community. Connect with other actors who understand your journey. And I can't stress enough how important it is to find specifically a great audition technique teacher. Great acting teachers can potentially be found anywhere in the world. And all the methods and styles are valid if they're taught well. But at the end of the day, only a well-experienced odd tech teacher can tell you if your audition game is on point. And you need to know if yours is so you don't make yourself crazy wondering if you approach your auditions properly. So you can remain resilient in the face of the feedback that you're not going to get. That includes everything from breaking down the script correctly, developing the character accurately, and addressing the technical aspects of an on-camera audition. Said another way, there are so many incredibly talented actors in the world who cannot audition properly. There are a host of ways that auditions can go off the rails, and preventing that from happening is entirely learnable. If you haven't taken an acting class that is specifically defined as audition technique, it is an absolute must. We must also create financial stability for ourselves. Some actors have survival jobs that support them while providing flexibility for auditions. Some actors have full-fledged, full-time careers, and there's a lot of those. It takes time before you audition so much that you have to worry about the auditions impacting your other job. And most auditions are going to be self-tape. So make the money you'll need to live a happy life with enough left over to invest in your training and materials. Don't worry about getting too many auditions when you're only just starting. And take care of your instrument, your body, your mind. Acting requires physical and emotional health. It requires stability and dedication. When things become challenging, remember why you started and reconnect with the joy of play and performance and purpose that drew you to acting in the first place. Now for that final bit of advice that I mentioned at the top. Consider forming an LLC. What is an LLC? An LLC is a limited liability company. It's a type of business entity you can register in your state, with your state. The main purpose of an LLC company is to limit the personal liability of its owners, but it also allows the business to operate with simpler rules and more flexible tax requirements. So there's a financial aspect. When you do book work, you can have your employer pay your LLC instead of you personally and likely gain a tax benefit. I'm not an accountant, and this is not financial advice, just a tip I wish I knew when I was getting started. Please consult a professional or a service like LegalZoom for more information. But aside from the financial aspects, I recommend this to actors because it supports everything I've said in this video about becoming a self-sustaining business in a crowded marketplace and taking care of yourself. As an actor, you are the product, and it can be hard to parse that out from being you the human. It's easier to do when you set up a business entity. It keeps the money you make or spend as an actor separate from your personal finances. If you're fortunate to make a lot of money, it does a lot of work to protect you from losing it. When your agent asks you where to send your check, it's also pretty cool to say, you can send it to my LLC. It sends a message to yourself, those you work with, and the universe that you're not playing games. You don't have only one foot in the door. It says, I am serious about this choice and I expect to make money. You may or may not, but I know you definitely won't if you don't expect to. Someone's got to. It's the universal law of attraction. Don't shoot the messenger. Well, that's it for today's guide on how to become an actor. Remember, there's no single path to success in this industry. The journey looks different for everyone. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more acting and entertainment industry advice. Drop a comment with your questions and I will do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching and action. Gutter out. Please hit like and subscribe to help build a global community of artists. And check out the links below. I love you.